We'll stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Tonight we gather to make decisions for our community. We use only our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, once again, good evening. I'm glad everybody's here. It's good to see everybody. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Here.
Mr. Parsons?
Here.
Mr. Redding?
Here.
Mrs. Dosa?
Here.
Mr. George? Mr. Young?
Here.
Mrs. Rissel?
Okay, everyone is accounted for. That's always great news. You have before you the minutes from the April 1st, 2025 council meeting. Does anybody have any corrections that they see? If nobody has any corrections, I would ask for a motion to adopt as printed.
I make a motion to adopt as printed.
Second.
Ms. Rissel has made a motion to adopt as printed, seconded by Mr. Parsons. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence. I don't really have any correspondence. You have a number of papers in front of you from the different departmental heads. Does anybody else have any correspondence that they would like to bring forward? Okay. Guest and special events, we have none. Public input. We have a number of people that have signed up to speak tonight before council. Start with the list here. Michael S. You come up to the podium, sir. Give us your name and address.
Michael Saru, name, address, 838 Cleveland. I'm here on behalf of Decor LLC at 821 Hamilton Avenue.
Okay.
821, I'm sorry, Hamilton Avenue. I just wanted to ask the fire chief and the police chief, is there anything that we can do to assist y'all and y'all can assist us as far as when it comes to our business and our company, so we are not, a problem for y'all and we can continue to do, business in a good manner. Couple times, we had reached capacity. We put a lot of money in our marketing. So, we do have a, nice business, but we want to make sure, the city is with us and we with y'all. So whatever it is we need to do to.
If you would purchase clickers that they count and subtract, and you'd have somebody at the main door, and you would click them in as they come in, and then once you reach the 99 plus whatever you're allowed in the patio, and once you reach that, then you're at capacity.
Okay.
That'd be the best way to solve that problem.
So we have purchased the clickers. We keep somebody at the front door. We keep somebody at the side door to let them out. We do have walkie-talkies, so when it is a line, whoever's going out, like sometimes we have reached over capacity, but we try to manage it by letting a number of people out and then letting them know they radio each other with the walkie-talkies to let a number of people in. Sometimes the traffic is, a little overwhelming. We try to keep the streets. We hired valet parking that way we're not affecting the traffic flow. We do have the clickers. We have security, but we will do better on the.
Okay. Yeah, and that's, that's all for your your patrons' safety. If anything would happen when you're overcrowded, there's plenty of videos out there where people get trampled and they end up dying, and it's for your safety too. To make sure that that you stay within the occupancy that's stated on your occupancy permit.
All right. Is there anything else? As far- Yes, sir. One of the,
And the problem also is that you're creating a traffic hazard on Hamilton Avenue. You can't have valet parking where people stop on Hamilton Avenue, where people take over cars. You can't do that.
so we don't have them,
That's impeding traffic and blocking in people trying to get out. So you can't have people out there doing any type of traffic on that public roadway. Only people that can do that are police officers and flaggers that are certified for construction.
yes, sir.
Those type of things. The incident that happened on Saturday, early Sunday morning, Saturday night, metal detectors, I don't know what you guys want to do as far as, people with firearms in that area, there's concern.
Right.
Yeah, and that's my concern too. Is with that said, is it doesn't take a fire, an overcrowded facility to cause panic. All it takes is just a firecracker, and people are going to be headed for the exit. And if you guys are overcrowded, people are just going to stomp on each other trying to get out, and those exits they'll get plugged up with people. And I've seen it. Guys, watch a White Snake video where the fire happened there, and people couldn't move because they were trapped on top of people or under people. People were on top of them. And that was a bad scene there. And that bar, or they lost a lot of money. They got sued. And that's the other thing. The fire code's also to protect you guys from stuff like that from happening.
So as far as speaking on both incidents, we do have security. We don't have metal detectors. We do have security. Everybody that enters the building, they get patted down twice. So it's one when they come in the front door, then they get patted down again before they actually enter the door to come into the establishment. As far as fire codes, we are up to par with everything. The fire extinguishers, all the signs, the lights work. Y'all came in there.
Okay.
I think it might be one thing where it's by the kitchen where we need to put up the exit sign. That was
Okay.
it. We're handling that
All right.
as soon as possible. The incident that happened that you speaking on as far as on Saturday, it is an open carry state. We can't control who has firearms in their car. They're definitely are not allowed in the building. And we hire security for the outside of the parking lot. If there is a situation to where people need to exit, we do have 4 exits. We have the one in the front, we have the one on the side, and then we have 2 of them on the patio. We also keep security at each exit, so if there is a situation to try to control the traffic so nobody is getting hurt as much as possible, we take every precaution that we can as far as being a business to keep not only the violence down, but order. Also, as far as what you were saying as the traffic on Hamilton, that was a problem at first when we hired valet. What we did do, because we seen they were stopping the flow of traffic in the front, what we did was we blocked off our ways to come into the parking lot. It's only one way to come in. Valet has 4 to 5 guys. We make them come in the inside and drive around so it doesn't stop the flow of traffic on Hamilton. So when a car does come and they see that they want to come in and park, we make them come all the way in. That way it doesn't disrupt the flow of traffic. So we are trying to take every precaution so that way we can operate our establishment and still comply with the laws and the rules, of the area. So like I said before, we just need anything that y'all need us to do, we definitely are willing. We're a phone call away. We always there.
Yeah,
We do apologize for the,
and one other thing too is when it's 20 degrees outside, you got to take that into consideration that people most probably are not going to go out there on that patio. So I would advise that that's when you just do 99. You know, and it's you know, you guys know when it's going to be really cold, because as soon as you get all those people in that 99 maximum occupancy, you know, with the 59 other people,
yes, sir.
you know, you're overcrowded.
So we took precautions as far as that. We thought about that when we renovated the establishment. We have heat warmers
Okay,
out there on the patio.
all right,
Every booth, there's 2 heat warmers on each side. There's also 4 heat warmers by all the doors. And if it does get cold like that, because we know we need that capacity, we'll put a heater on the inside. But we have heaters mounted to the walls by all the sections.
Yeah, I
So we
remember
did
seeing
take
that now, yeah.
accountability for
Okay.
you know, the weather. So we try, like I said, we're trying to do everything that it is so we can operate according to.
you know, we're not against you, but you know, when we go in there and you know that it's overcrowded just from the experience from some of our guys that have done it for a while. And every time that we've exited out and we're counting, I think the first time we got up to 140 and they quit counting. So, you know, we just ask that you guys be safe and, you know, count your people as they're coming in, as they're going.
Yes, sir. That's all I have.
What's your official capacity with decor?
I don't know the exact number.
No, no, your official status, your
job title.
Title,
Oh, I'm partner and manager.
partner and manager.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Anybody else have any questions? Thank you for coming up. Stay in touch with the city and they'll work with you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, who else would like to speak? I have a little trouble reading some of the writing. Mr. Dunham? Okay. Name and address, please.
Keon Dunham, 8021 Hamilton Avenue. I'm also here on behalf of the Corps. And just to really reiterate what he was saying to the chief, we just trying to figure out what is a good solution coming from a professional opinion with our issues. That way we can work with y'all, because one of your issues was the gun violence. We offered to pay a police detail over the going rate for 2 officers just to be proactive in that area, and no one's picked it up.
Yeah, they're not gonna, our officers won't work there.
So,
Put themselves in that situation. You're asking me I don't know how to run a bar, sir. I know how to run a police department. I don't know how to, you know, there's several establishments in Mount Healthy and around here. You got Vince's, you got Moe's, you got Just One More, you got those places, and we're not seeing these issues there. You're seeing them at your place. So I don't know how to run a bar. I don't know how to get the right clientele in there. I don't know how to, all I know is how to respond when we have these types of situations, and to take action when, obviously, the chief says there's capacity violations to protect the safety of the people there, and when there's traffic issues. So I don't know what the business model is. You guys.
I know you don't run a bar, but what I'm actually saying is, the issue is, like you said, the parking. Obviously, that's the main issue. And by Hamilton, we've been on the front street of Hamilton. The cars are going to stop and try to see if they can pull in our lot, and if it's full, they have to keep going. How do we can't, that's kind of out of our control. And if we have our capacity, the cars that's parked, if our capacity is 146, 80 cars on that street gonna look like we over capacity. So we gonna get the calls no matter if we at capacity or if y'all think we over capacity. And a lot of times y'all came in, they didn't count. And they just shut us down for no reason. They thought they assumed we was over capacity. We never got one capacity ticket. And I know that's y'all being lenient with us, giving us a chance to fix the issues, and we appreciate that. But what we saying is, no matter how many cars at our capacity rate, 180 cars, it's gonna look like we at capacity. We block our lot off, like he was saying. We utilize a valet. How do we get around it just looking like it's congested? We even went as far as to hire a shuttle to shuttle you from the parking lots down there so it's not too congested. We doing everything we can, especially with the trying to get the police detail. How can we get you guys to work with us so we can have longevity here?
Well, I think we are. Like you said, we haven't cited you for the capacity violations. We haven't done that. It's been 4 times. I think, you know, if you want a ticket, we'll give you one. I mean, we're getting to that point. I think we are getting to that point in that type of situation. Regarding your congestion, your parking lot is only so big. And if people still want to stop there, they're going to wind up getting, if you want us to write them tickets, we'll write them tickets for obstructing the traffic way, stopping in the middle of the roadway, obstructing traffic. We'll certainly do that. We will continue to field complaints regarding parking, people, your patrons parking in other businesses. So it's private property, we don't have any authority there. But we constantly get the calls of, hey, the core people are parking in my lot, what can I do about it? Well, you can tow them.
And we tell them that too.
Yeah, it's so,
And we try to like
yeah.
control it the best way we can, but that don't stop them from calling and saying, hey, the Corps, I think they're over capacity. And then you guys come, and then you guys think we're over capacity. We had a lose-lose situation. So we just want to figure out a way that we can all help each other.
I know one thing that you could do is when you are at capacity, you know, and people are driving up, say, hey, we're full. We got a line. If you want to wait out, you know, in the cold or in the whatever type of weather, you know, more than happy to. But right now we are at capacity, and we can't allow any more people in. You know, and then you know, you have that line. You know, people are going to have to wait for someone to exit. You know, I think that's one way that you could keep the crowd down is once you know you're there, just turn people away.
Yeah, we don't mind doing that because we are in high demand for the, you know, the type of establishment we are. But even to your point, and I don't mean to hold up y'all too much longer, but if we take 3 minutes to tell every car that is affecting directly what he don't want to happen. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So only thing we can do is have our people that's controlling the parking lot wave them down. Hey, this parking lot is closed. We at capacity. Go down to the parking lot.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, damn if we do, damn if we don't. Mm-hmm. But we trying to figure out a way to
Right, and
be all the way in compliance.
yeah,
with
you're
you.
not going to have control of you know, patrons that want to come in, and you know you have no control where they park. You know, but you know it does kind of reflect on your business too when they are parking everywhere, and you know, I know it's not your fault, but still, you know, look at the residents and the businesses of, you know, that surround you guys.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, just for everybody else, we haven't got a chance to meet nobody. We new here, so if y'all can tell us anything we can do in the neighborhood to be good neighbors, that'd be pretty helpful too.
Just keep the conversation going, you know, between your customers, the city hall here, you know, just,
What's your official title?
I'm a partner, I'm a tenant.
Partner?
yeah, it's just important to keep conversation going and don't, you know, even if you get mad at us, you know,
If you put a sign out at the street when your parking's full or when you're at capacity, people see the sign, just keep on going.
Maybe. Yeah,
Closer to the street so they can see it. Instead of pulling in, they can just keep rolling.
Exactly.
yeah, I'd like to help you solve the problem, and don't want to make it harder for you, but got to solve the problem.
We appreciate y'all.
Keep working at it. Thank you. Okay, next person on my list, Christofeld, is that right, or close?
Yes, sir. Christian Stubblefield. How are you all?
Good. Name and address, please.
Christian Stubblefield and 8021 Hamilton Avenue. I'm here on behalf of the Corps. They pretty much covered more or less everything I was going to say, but I'm part of the security personnel. Some of the things that we have done since Saturday, we've decided to increase the amount of security that we have. We've reached out to a certified armed company to patrol the lot, to make sure there aren't people sitting out there, make sure there aren't people drinking, loitering, doing anything to the property, or like the neighboring, like our neighbors. We contacted a shuttle bus, like they said. We actually haven't had this is something we've done yesterday and the day prior, so we haven't been able to actually put that plan into effect yet, but that is something we're gonna be doing this weekend, so we are gonna put the sign, like you said, that was a great suggestion. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna, to alleviate the pressure in our parking lot, we're gonna shift it down and just have the shuttle bus and the valet just move from there, so we don't have to worry about plugging up the narrow Hamilton and whatnot, and just wanna apologize for any inconvenience that we have gave you guys. And as far as the incident Saturday, not to make light of it, a gunshot is a gunshot, but it was more of a improper use of firearm. Vice versa, people were actually trying to hurt each other, not to make light of the situation. And like I said, to prevent that from happening again, we have hired an armed certified security company to make sure that if there is anything happening, we get people to their cars safely and we get them off the property immediately. So that won't happen again. And like I said, I apologize. We appreciate you guys' time, and we'll do everything we can to be in compliance and, have a great summer.
Okay, thank you. Questions, council? All right, thanks for coming up.
You on a shuttle bus, you say?
I'm sorry?
You on a shuttle bus for,
We contacted one, and we're getting logistics down now, but we are going to be utilizing that service moving forward on Saturdays, Fridays, and
go-
during the day, during like brunch, when it's like more busy and more like foot traffic.
to go from where, sir?
I'm sorry?
To go from where to your,
We're gonna get in contact with maybe Moe's, so we can utilize their parking lot. And like I said, the shuttle bus is not only going to prevent cars from stopping and going back and forth, but it's going to prevent the foot traffic of people walking back and forth. So there aren't calls to the police, like there's a group of people walking across, or there's people drinking right here, or there's people doing this or that. And we'll make sure that whatever lot that we do use outside of ours is being we're going to make sure we have security there, and make sure we clean up any mess that's made, and we're going to make sure there's not any loud noises or anything like that. Like, our main goal is longevity, and whatever we can do for the city, we'd like to do, and just be successful all around the board.
thank you.
Super.
Hilltop Plaza, it's only for patrons only. Those doesn't own that parking lot, so you have to contact the property manager for Hilltop.
Yes, sir.
So you can't, it's like, Paul Miller, those guys can't give you authorization.
Absolutely. That's above my pay grade, so I'm not exactly sure who they're going to contact, but I'm sure they know who to call. I just know that that's the route we're taking. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Is there anything else?
Questions, council, anybody?
You guys have a great
Thanks for coming up.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, we have one more person on the list, Mike Monk.
My name is Mike Monk, and I live on 1727 Madison Avenue. My question is, I haven't heard a lot. I know they did a lot of markings and surveying on our street and Werner and all that about getting the street redone or something like that. Does anybody here in this group know when that's gonna happen?
you say you're 1726?
27.
My
17
street.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, we've not had pre-bidding, but it should be this year.
Yeah.
So we have a pre-bid process where, I mean, the money's already been approved, so it will get done either this year or next year, but we'll meet with contractors for them to present bids. We still have to select the lowest bid or the best bid. But hopefully by the end of the year, we would have broken ground on it. So it'd be the full stretch of Warner, and then your leg of Madison is that project.
Is that gonna be all new curves and drains in the street?
Yeah.
Because I got a drain right in front of my house, and when that thing gets clogged, they used to have the type that was an open drain, and they changed it to just a drain in the street, and when that thing gets clogged up, that water gets almost knee-deep out in the street, so. And I go out with a rake and that and shovel it up, try to get it unclogged. And the last time I didn't do that, it flooded out my basement, went in my garage, because I got the lowest, my backyard is the lowest spot on that street. And I mean, it's a pain in the butt, so. And I got one more question, or one more thing I want to bring up besides that. When are we going to get back to the city of Mount Healthy and get back to where we do something about, I know you guys are improving all the streets, you're putting new curves in, you're doing all this stuff. When are you going to get back into where you keep these people, because you come up Compton Road, this way, you go up Stevens or Harrison, all these streets, and we got these cars that are parked not just on the curb, but with the wheels in the car sitting halfway over the curb. And I know it used to be a law, or used to be something wrong with it, where you couldn't do that. So my question is, and I brought this up to many people before, if I went up downtown on Hamilton Avenue there, and I pulled my truck across the curb and parked it there, like you let these people at their houses do that, what would happen to me? Would I get a ticket?
I don't know.
Because I know it's not right. It's against the.
We have an ordinance.
You have an
Go ahead, Joe.
ordinance against that. So what are you guys what's council gonna do about trying to make this city? I mean, when you come to a city and you see these cars parked there and some of them are parked on halfway on the sidewalk even.
So-
When you come in the city and you see this,
So
I
you-
lived here for a long time now, and I know from back when I was, heck, I've been here for 50 years probably, 70 years. I'm 75, so I've been up here since 10 years old. And I know that's never happened. And it just seems like nothing gets done about it. I mean, I bring it up, but.
Joe, you have a comment?
It happens all the time.
So
What are you guys gonna do about
I
it?
just want to clarify, are you talking about cars parking and blocking the sidewalk because they're hanging out? Or are you talking about
Going over the curb.
and parking in the grass between in the right of way?
Or
Yeah.
parking in the front yards.
Well, I think we do have a
I mean, you
problem
don't
with
let-
both.
You let the guy, you let them park in their front yards
Yes, yeah, we do have people that are in violation of that.
and over the curbs.
And-
Yeah, you got plenty of people.
And the only-
I even volunteered one time to ride my bike around Mount Healthy and put warnings on their windshield for you. To tell them that this is not correct.
Could you help him?
Yes.
And that's all I'm saying. It's not correct. It's not, it should be.
You're asking what
taken
council
care of.
can do for you, sir. We've passed an ordinance. Now it's up to the police to give the tickets. So we'll just have to tell the police, give more tickets for parking in the right-of-way. We got a lot of other things that the police
I know
have
you
to
got a
do.
lot- They do have a lot of other stuff, but. what are you
But we can, we do the best we can with giving tickets.
I'll volunteer to get on my bike and ride every day up and down the street and ride.
I would
I can
encourage
do
you
it
to
every
call
day.
the non-emergency number, and the dispatcher will let them know.
They do. They
So,
do.
and that's the
I talked to-
825-2280
I know Jerry.
number.
I talked to Jerry, I talked to
Okay.
all these people, but
But,
it just, it doesn't stop.
yeah,
We
no,
don't
I
do
understand. And our police are very busy. They had.
I know they're
They've had
busy.
over
They got a lot of
11,000
other
calls
things to
this
do.
year.
A lot of other
Last year.
things to do because there's a lot more problems out there. And I know they're taking care of it. They got traffic control and all that because that's another big thing you guys got is,
To answer your question, no, we're not too busy. I mean, this is concerning you, so
Yeah.
we're not too busy for this. Parking and junk vehicles and
Right.
In the city lots for months. That's been a priority of mine since I've gotten here. We've
Yeah.
towed probably close to 50 cars, box trucks, vans that have been sitting out here. We're still working on that.
Yeah.
Not to minimize your issue, and I understand the frustration
Yeah.
where cars parking in the front yard, we deal with that every time. We cite those people when they have to get them out. So if you see anything
Yeah.
like that, we can call to respond to those right away. It's a clear violation of the ordinance.
Yeah.
You know, somebody parking with their tires on that right, yes, it is a violation.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is, and it's out there, and it stays out there, and it's been out there for the last 10
Yes,
years.
sir.
I mean, I've been bringing it up for 10 years, even before Jerry was the chief. I brought it up 10 years. So now that, and I understand all that, so, but there's nothing you can do about it, and I don't know how many times.
There is something we can do about it. This is a violation, this is a city ordinance, and we can do a couple different ways. We can, issue a warning on that, or we can actually issue a citation.
Yeah, but-
And if it becomes a continued problem, you can actually cite and tow the vehicle.
Yeah.
You wanna try to, maybe, send a warning out first, or maybe even have the officer go out and make contact, hey, your car's on that road right away. We are busy, but we're not too busy to answer stuff.
Okay.
These are quality of life calls that the police department need to do, because you take care of some of the smaller stuff, the bigger stuff takes care of itself. So, this is
Well-
important to you, it's important to me,
It's just a thing that I wanted to bring up. Besides, I wanted to find out about when the streets are getting done, so. Because that's the worst street in Mount Healthy, I think, right now. It's got- Get the pothole guy out there.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to address council tonight? Okay, thank you. Going to move on to committee reports. Beautification, Ms. Lingo.
I don't have a report, just want to remind you of the Clean Up Mount Healthy this Saturday from 9 to 12 at the community room, the 26th. And if all of you could possibly make it, ask your friends to come up so we can get the trash and try to clean up the town. I would appreciate it.
Okay,
We should be there until 9 to 12. 9 to 12. The gloves and garbage bags will be supplied, so, and we'll probably have donuts, maybe coffee. And definitely donuts from Little Dutch.
okay. Questions, anybody?
Just want to add one thing to that. There's also a tire drop-off in the public lot here. And Justin will be, or one of his guys will be there on that Saturday, the April 26th, taking care of that.
I think that's 9 to 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
9 to 1.
That sounds right. I think we've got it, they're all advertised on the Facebook page, so.
Yep.
Okay, economic development, Mr. Paul Young.
Don't really have, I would like to call for a meeting on, our next council meeting on May 6th, and probably the June 3rd meeting also. We got a lot of things to go over, so it'd be easier just to do it in a committee meeting if we could, so see if availability for that hour before council meeting on those days.
Okay, thank you. Questions, anybody?
So the 6th and the 20th before council? 6 o'clock?
And the 3rd. Do one a month, I think.
May
All the
6th.
6th, May 6th, yeah.
And June 3rd?
Yeah, we'll just do one a
Okay.
month,
I
I think.
thought,
We
okay.
don't have the first
We won't have a
meeting.
council meeting
First
on the
council
3rd.
meeting, we
You
won't
can do the
have it.
second meeting.
Second meeting, yeah, sorry, that's what I
Okay.
meant, sorry.
So that would be the 17th, I believe.
Yeah, June 17. Just 6 o'clock for council? Is that what you're, yep.
Finance Department, Mr. Parsons.
Yeah, the Finance Committee met before this meeting. Talk about a few things. We're still waiting on the grant, on the response to our grant request for a fire truck. If we do not get that, we'll decide what to do at that point. We also discussed setting up capital budgets for the fire department, possibly the police department, and roads. Those will be things that we'll take into consideration when we do our budgeting in the fall. And we also talked about the staffing of the police department. We're waiting also on a grant response for the COPS grant. We are definitely going to add another police officer this year and may do some other adjustments to the staffing. The other thing we did was look at the to-date actual versus budget, and things are looking pretty good. We just got our property tax payment this month, so that's not reflected in our financials at this point, but everything, a lot of our revenues look like they are coming in a little higher than we expected. We just have to control the expenses. That's all.
Okay, questions for Mr. Parsons? Thank you, sir. Library and the Parks Commission, Ms. Dosa.
Thank you. The library is going to start their annual summer reading program. That starts in June, and it'll run June 1st to July 31st, just for those who are interested. Every fourth Wednesday of every month, they will have a special program where the library partners with Peachtree Advocacy to do fun and engaging programs with the kids in the community. So they're still doing that. And then lastly, I received an email from Sarah Rust, who is the new librarian in lieu of Lacey, and she was saying that she wanted me to just wanted to thank the community members and council and anyone who advocated for the library regarding the state budget. There'll be more updates coming as the vote goes to the state senate, but she just wanted to make sure that I thanked everyone who contacted their state reps on their behalf. And that's all I have for libraries. For the parks, they have a lot of things that are coming up with the parks. There is a Mulberry Festival that will be going on in the park, and it is a 2-weekend event, Sunday, June 1st and June 8th. The first Sunday, which is June 1st, will be the Mulberry Walk, and that is going to start at Kenny Pocket Park, and that's from 12 to 2. You'll meet in the park, and then you'll go around in groups and collect and gather mulberries around the neighborhood, and you'll meet back at the park for ice cream. And the following Sunday, which is June 8th, from 12 to 4, will be at our park, the city park. There'll be live music, beer available for purchase, and vendors with goods and educational content to be presented. And they'll have a mulberry bake-off. So that would be June 8th from 12 to 4 at our city park. Also, our summer concert series is starting up in June, and I will have a list shortly for council members that want to sign up to help work the concert dates. Thank you for that in advance. Also, on that June 6th date, which is the first concert date, we'll have prior to the concert starting at 7, we're going to have the Kenny Kilfmeyer Foundation bench dedication, and that will be at the park at 7 prior to the concert. And the Kilfmeyer Foundation will be having Skyline following the dedication. So that'll be at 7, and then the concert will be following. And then the city, we anticipate giving out ice cream at the concert. So that's a big event coming up. Next, we have an update on our park equipment. We are still in the process of getting a new plan for the park. I've been working with PES, and they're supposed to get it to me this week, but I haven't seen it yet. But a new drawing for more age and sensory appropriate and kid-friendly play structures, and also just what equipment that we can either switch out or add or buy. They'll get me a floor model plan about that with the structures this coming week, and I'll be happy to more share with you once I get that. We also have the Ohio Department of Natural Resource Grant is upcoming in June. It's due June, and I also would need help with that grant. So I know that there were some people that offered to help with that. So we'll be meeting in next month to start working on that. We have a draft, but we need to work on it to get it ready for submission. So if you're interested in helping with that, please see me. Also, we have Jacqueline Johnson Wilkinson, who's affiliated with the Health Alliance, got a grant, and that grant provides for bike helmets and locks. She got over 140 helmets, and we're trying to do a collaborative safety night with the fire department and the police department at our park. More details to follow once we solidify all those plans. We would like to give out those helmets and locks, and also talk to, she said that there might be the potential to give away 2 brand new bikes. And have some tables set up to promote about safety, not only in the community, but with riding bikes and et cetera. So I'll have more details for you once we get a date set in stone and what our plan will be going forward for that event. Lastly, there is a Easter egg hunt that's sponsored by the American Legions. That will be at the park this Saturday from 2 to 3. And that is all that I have.
Questions, council?
Has the concert schedule been posted on the city website?
I did not see it,
I don't think we have yet.
not yet.
Okay. Can we get that out there? Thank you.
I have a couple questions if I can remember what they were.
Sure.
What Kenny Kiffmeyer Bench, is that the first concert?
Yes.
First
June
concert,
6th,
okay.
the first concert we'll be doing, the bench will be out there prior to that,
Yeah.
just so that it can get mounted properly and settled. But it'll be dedicated to the park and the
Yes.
community on the 6th.
Okay, and what time was that again?
It'll be at 7.
Okay, 7 o'clock. Then my other question was regarding the library.
Yes.
I heard they were having another event to give away more trees.
Okay, I
Is
didn't know
that this
about that.
coming week, or,
I didn't hear about that, I'm sorry.
okay.
But I can follow up and find out and let you know.
Well, it was for the pawpaw trees again. They gave them away a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I heard they were gonna have another one.
I can find out,
Okay,
and
just
I'll
let
let
me
you know. I'll email everybody in council and let you know. So I'll follow up on that, on the pom-pom trees.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Anybody else questions? Okay, safety, Mr. Redding.
Yes, so I'm not sure if all of council is aware of the events of the weekend, so I was hoping that the Chief Jerry and our fire chief would also give a quick update as to what's happened and a couple of things that have happened in the past. Sorry, would you be able to give a quick update? And Chief Jerry and Chief Steve?
So we have do you want them to do it during the resolution? I mean, now
Oh,
it's fine.
Not a problem. Then I just have a couple questions. Chief, you have the counts that you did the last few times, right? Recorded?
We will, yes.
Okay.
We're going to create an incident report on those. We did in the past, we're new at this, and we've never had to do this before. So this is something brand new to us, and we're learning as we go. But yes, we are having the guys that were down there, the captain that was there, they're going to make an incident report for those 4 overcrowded reports.
Okay. So I got your last fire report, fire and EMS. Could you include those type numbers in that report also?
Yes.
Okay. Greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
And then, Chief, could you update, or never mind, we were going to do that okay. Never mind, we'll wait till then. That's all I have, other than please check out the police and fire reports that you guys have.
Thank you, Joe. Questions for Mr. Redding? Okay, schools, Mr. George.
Yes, sir. Coming up on Saturday, April 26th at 10 a.m., the Mount Healthy School District Wellness Committee is hosting a 5K walk. It's their second annual event that they're throwing, and you can register for this on their Mount Healthy City Schools social media, Facebook page. And then beginning May 1st, the Mount Healthy City Schools is beginning their open enrollment, which will close on May 31st this year, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Where do they have the 5K walk at, Cordell?
It doesn't list that information, but
Starts
I
at the ELC, I know.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. And ends there, okay.
$25 a person.
Gotcha.
Where is it at again?
The Early
Learning
Learning
Center.
Center.
Okay, down on, okay. I was just hoping it wasn't down at the football field where all them big hills are.
Well, maybe they could clean up Mount Healthy while they're
While
walking.
they're doing it, give them a bag.
We'll hand out bags to them. We'll be there with bags and gloves.
Okay, any questions for Mr. George? Okay, move on then to Peggy Rissell and Streets.
I don't have a report other than Justin's aware of all the holes everywhere.
I'm sure he is. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bittner, I do have a question for Cordell. Is there a way that, for the cleanup Mount Healthy, that you could get in touch with the school and see if there's any kids that need service hours? We'd be happy to sign off on their sheets. You know, if they could donate some time, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay. We'll move on then to Mayor's report, but she's not here. City Manager's report, Mr. Bauer.
Yeah, so Mayor gave me a couple items here for me to bring up for. Looks like the Put a Lid on It grant was already mentioned, and the Sidewalk Shuffle 5K walk was already mentioned, but she wanted me to bring up that she visited the Mount Healthy Spring Education Fair at the high school, connected with a lot of people in the art department, National Honor Society, and just looking for ways for the city and the school to kind of connect programs and more service hours, activity kind of thing, just kind of build that relationship. We're planning to meet with a muralist. I think that's the right term. Northwest Auto has a great blank canvas on it of that brick. That'd be nice to kind of put a mural on it. So trying to get some quotes and find the right artist to maybe be able to get a mural there. The county offers grants that can cover the cost for a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, looking into that. She did take a ride around town with Justin, our Public Works Director, looking at the roads. That they are well aware of all the potholes, and a lot of it is waiting for the streets to fully dry out to get the potholes filled. I know Justin's chomping at the bit to use the new Bobcat, but a lot of it has to wait till it dries out. So hopefully in the next month here he'll be able to get out there in full force with all his guys. Let's see, for my report here, let's see, Public Works again. They've been on Hastings working all week pretty much, trying to rebuild a storm drain. It was collapsed, and when you dig it out, it's kind of like going back in time, probably 100 plus years of how it was built. So it can take a lot of time to properly rebuild something that old. So they've been working hard at that. Wanted to bring up that ODOT.
Bless you.
They claim they've been working on us since the 70s, I believe. They're interested in handing off ownership of Heritage Park to us. So meeting with them on May 5th. To be blunt, I don't know what's in it for us. You're effectively maintaining part of Ronald Reagan Highway at that point. I don't know what business we have of doing that, but I'm going to meet with them, kind of see what they say. Yeah, but apparently they claim since the 70s they've been, I don't know what used to be there. My memory really doesn't go back pre-Ronald Reagan, but
There was a house there.
United Dairy Farmers.
I thought it was residential, so I don't know what could have been there.
Dairy Farmers and.
That was in North College Hill, the UD, and then just north
there-
of there was that old house, Ross, that
Yeah.
it sat on a couple acres.
Was any of it state at that point? Would have any of it been state?
No, they were all private property, and the state
Yeah.
bought it for Cross
Okay.
County.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember who owned that,
I don't either.
but I think that butted up to Jenny's property, correct?
Yes.
Find out how much they'll give us to take it off their hands.
I know, yeah.
You have to maintain it.
Got to be more worried about what it cost us to keep it.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
they would have to
Yeah.
give us some money to
Yeah.
take it away.
Yeah.
So early May, I'll be meeting with them. I'll report back how that goes. Building inspection department, been working hard on property maintenance. Trusty Tire constantly has tires out. People working in their driveways. They've been sent letters and orders to fix the issues, that kind of stuff. Hilltop Plaza is another big one that we're working on. Really starting to work with the fire department. I'm sure Chief will go into some of this, but working with the fire department and Gordon, getting out there and just making sure these guys fix these things. Let's see here. An update on the antique mall. So I think Algar was ready to demo it, but the newest chapter here is the front wall is shared with the neighboring building. So pretty much probably 2/3, if not a little bit more, the buildings are completely separate. But for whatever reason, the very front wall, probably 50 to 100 feet, is actually shared. So if you were to take that building down, it would be the interior wall of the Taekwondo studio. So they kind of made some test poke holes into the wall, and you there's the plaster on this side, the studs, and the plaster on the other side. You go through that other side, you're right in the Taekwondo studio. So we've had some structural engineers out this week to look at it. They're going to come back hopefully by end of next week with a plan of some sort as to what we need. I mean, I'm sure there's a fix. The question is how much, obviously, right? So Algar will probably, they're pretty much done with the red line. They've seeded and strawed and seeded everything. I don't know if they'll keep the machine here, if they'll move it on to something else, but it could be quite a few more months before we get everything shored up, before we'd be confident in taking down that building. So it continues on. At this point, I'm hoping by the end of the year we can finish. I don't know.
Said that last year.
I know, and I'm worried I might be too aggressive in what saying by the end of this year. I don't know. We'll see. I think we can have a plan ready within probably a month, but it's finding a contractor, getting an appropriate price. I think we made the decision in bringing the building down. I mean, it is a mess, and it's really interesting to go inside and see all the old lumber, and it's hand hewn, all that. I mean, it's really cool, but it's just falling apart, and you can kind of see now why we had to make the decision that we made. So hopefully soon we'll have a plan, and then I'll bring that back to council. Let's see real quick here. Pool opening June 1st. Rates will be the same as last year. Excited for that. We'll do season passes, daily passes. Excited for that. There'll be a pool meeting on the 3rd. All the staff will come in and kind of start getting things organized. So everyone's getting excited for that. Let's see, an update on streetscape. I did meet with Metro and Human Nature. In general, ODOT and Metro, they both are very excited about all the streetscape things that we've come up with. I think there's dollars available for us. ODOT mentioned a few grants that we'll have to kind of figure out exactly how to get them, but Metro, basically what they suggested was using our SORTA funds. Every year we've applied for a grant. Both phases of Harrison were SORTA funds, and then the West Compton was SORTA. Tonight we'll pass the resolution to do Seward again for SORTA. That's still what JMA is recommending, but it could be worth our while to look more at putting it towards streetscape improvements, which could be extending the sidewalks, bump outs, paying for a lot of these kinds of things. I think there's a really good chance that SORTA would be for that kind of thing. So going to meet with Human Nature again, kind of see what the next steps forward are, but feel like we've pretty much met with all the largest stakeholders. It's kind of still developing a plan and kind of breaking up that initial construction, that $12 million quote that we were given from Bruce. So still have to kind of break that up and see what we want to do, but I think we've made some good first steps here. Got a meeting with Metro BRT, the rapid transit route that's coming through. I think that's in 2 weeks maybe. They're just going to talk to us about the different designs that are available and just kind of give us an update. So it'll be myself and the mayor that are going to meet with them. So give you guys an update when we have that. Let's see, I've updated a few of the grants. We did get an event grant. This will be for specific to Christmas. So it will pay for the faux skating rink, a tree, I put in for a tree. I think we can kind of adjust some of the stuff. If the weather seems nice enough, we can get an inflatable, but we've got $25 grand to spend towards Christmas in Mount Healthy. So pretty exciting. The hope was to put it where Antique Mall is, hoping that would be a green space. So we may have to adjust our plans here. We'll see. Let's see. Police chief applied for a traffic safety grant. That's about $50K, I think, for more cameras, speed cushions, additional signage. See how that one goes. I think that's all that I had. Yeah, that's all that I had.
Okay, thank you, sir. Questions? I have one that's not really related to anything you talked about tonight, but the blacktop or the alley next to UDF, the hump is gone. When was
I know that was sheared off in while snow plowing, so we still have to replace it. But it got ripped. We were not the ones that plowed it. I don't know if it was the business that's just north, but it got ripped up during plowing, unfortunately. So, and I meant to drive through. Maybe someone else has seen. Do they have the second layer of speed humps in the driveway? I drove through on Hamilton Avenue, and I kind of glanced to the side. I thought maybe they had put in. They already have one row of speed bumps there.
I think that's the only one.
Okay, maybe I was seeing things. I meant to drive through there before the meeting, but I know that's still on, it was my understanding that was still under, on UDF's agenda to install those, so.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bauer. Fire Department, Chief Steve Lawson.
Thank you, Ross. So January through March, we responded to 523 EMS calls. And then on the fire side, we responded to 86 fire calls. And if you look at the paper here, you'll see that there's highlighted in yellow. Those are runs where we responded into that district, North Cottage Hill, Forest Park, Springfield Township, Coleraine, etc. See, it looks like we responded to 4 structure fires. We had one of the fires, let's see, the structure fire we had on Clovernook was in April, so that'll be in next time I see you guys report. We hired 2 full-time personnel, one to replace one of our full-time people that left to go to another department, and another person that you guys approved for us to hire. Thank you. So it's Steven Sosa, who's a part-time person with us now, and Jacob Adams. So they will be starting here as soon as we can get their background checks and their physicals. They'll be starting with us. Today we did a fire inspection at Trusty Tires. As far as the fire department side goes, they really had minor infractions. We asked them to correct those infractions, and we will be out to re-inspect them. The other stuff is pretty much is the building department's. That's where they have they'll be reinforcing or enforcing those issues. Captain Peace went to Hilltop Plaza and did the north end of the plaza, so where the old Kroger was, and he says that we're going to have to get with our building department because there's a lot of issues that he found today when he went through. So we're going to be working with the building department, and one of the sad things is the owner lives in Florida, and there's really no representative that he has up here that we can speak with to kind of give them, hey, this is what you need to do. So, all we can do is enforce the fire code, the building code, and if people don't comply, right now we're working with Scott Solomon to get where we can issue tickets for violations. So that's something that we have not been able to do in the past, and we're looking into being able to do it here in the future.
Are you able to shut them down if they don't comply?
Yes.
So that's unfortunate for the person living in Florida,
Yeah.
not for us.
Well, but here's the thing: is it doesn't affect the guy in Florida other than he won't get a lease.
He won't get his money, yeah.
Right, but somebody that's trying to make it in Hilltop Plaza, and some of those issues aren't really the tenant's fault.
Oh, I understand.
For example, half that building is sprinklered, And so it's a shared sprinkler system that is in at least more than five to 10 occupancies, you know, and that needs to be re-inspected or inspected by a certified sprinkler company. So I know Captain Peace and Mr. Wong went out Friday and saw that, and they are taking care of it. So we're working on that as well.
Yeah, building out the, you know, the fee schedule, the fine schedule, it's talked with a number of different departments, and it's typically taken a few years for a department to kind of figure out how to do it, because you really do have to nail down what ordinances you're going to use, have things in place. I mean, we do currently have the option of, you know, we shut decor down, right? I mean, we have that option of doing that, but I mean, it's kind of, it sort of feels like you have the do nothing option or do the nuclear option, right? I mean, the goal is compliance, so you want to have kind of midway points. So we are still putting together the fee structure that'll kind of give us the ability to say, that will hopefully entice people to fix these issues instead of us having to just go straight to the shutting someone down. I mean, we want them to operate, we want things to work normally and flow, but.
Right, and as I explained to the people, the business owners, is, you know, as a fire department, we don't want to shut you down because, you know, you're a revenue source for the city, and we want to work with you. But, you know, if you're not going to work with us, then kind of back us in a corner, and we got to do what we have to do.
Mr. Redding has a question for you.
Just two questions, Chief. On the inspections, can you also put that in your report?
Yes.
So we get a running total of that? And then you mentioned fire suppression. So if they subdivide those units, and this might be a question for Gordon, I don't know. If they subdivide those units and it's on the same fire suppression, do they need to be segregated out by the individual units?
No.
Or is somebody going to come into their business
I mean, you know, if
after a fire and find out they were flooded?
sprinklers systems are, so if you have a fire underneath a sprinkler head or below a sprinkler head and it activates that, it's just that one head.
Just at one head,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not the whole entire, yeah, it's just, each sprinkler head has a heat activated fuse.
Okay.
So yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about other businesses getting water damage.
It's heat that activates it,
Yes.
not smoke.
Okay.
Correct.
The heat, okay.
So I'll be meeting with Gordon and Keith tomorrow to talk specifically about Hilltop, because just the more and more we look, just the more and more of a mess it obviously is. I'm looking into another property maintenance company that can kind of help us, just kind of seeing some of the, they would help with like high grass and trash and stuff like that, but seeing the issues that are at Hilltop and a lot of other businesses around here, I think we'll need more help with some of this, building a case, because it could get a little rough with owners and stuff like that, but it's pretty bad up there.
Hey, Chief, anything else, sir?
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Questions for the chief? Thank you very much, Mr. Lawson.
You're welcome.
Going to move on to ordinances and resolutions. We have two new resolutions tonight. First one is resolution number 25-1226. A resolution opposing the transfer of the Ohio Department of Liquor Control license from Pit to Plate Barbecue LLC to 88021 Hamilton Avenue LLC regarding the business located at 88021 Hamilton Avenue and declaring an emergency.
I debated whether Chief should get up at the very beginning and talk about this, or just wait until the liquor license. It seemed appropriate to wait to this. I don't know which was better, but so we've been through this process before, and Chief's going to get up there and kind of walk through more of the details. But 2 years ago, we objected basically to this exact. This is almost the exact same thing. We'd had a shooting back then too. had similar issues. I guess go ahead and kind of walk us through some more of the details here, but.
Yeah, and I was here when this resolution was passed to to say that you're okay with or not oppose the liquor permit. There were a lot of promises made. A lot of promises were not kept. We continue to have issues regarding it was Stadium, then it was Suite 31, then it was Royal Rose, now it's Decor. It's the same problems over and over again regarding the issues there. Overcapacity, the disorderly conducts, fights, shootings, parking violations, hit, skip accidents is resulting from people coming from the establishment. You know, I said that the fact that we have other bars and here in Mount Healthy, Vince's, even Just One More, even Moe's Uptown Lounge, I have a good relationship with those guys. They had some capacity issues, and we said, and with the help of the fire chief, we went down and said, this is what you can do. Now, they do what they're supposed to do down there. There's a lot. On a busy night, they have people waiting outside, and they count, and they let people in as people come out. So they're playing by the rules. These guys don't. They just don't. They were supposed to provide us with online training for their owners and their managers, and that was supposed to be done in 2023, 2024, and 2025. And that said it was supposed to be given to me by August 1st on these dates. I've never received anything. They continue to violate the capacity, higher security, which mans the front door to enforce compliance with capacity permits. Clearly not done. That was an E. Permanent home to maintain operative video camera system. We had the situation this weekend. I'm still trying to obtain quality video of the situation of the shooting that happened on early Sunday morning around 2:30. I don't care if it happened in the parking lot. It happened in the establishment. It happened on the premises of this, and they said that they're not control. Well, yeah, that you are in control of this, and this is the same thing that's happened before. So to say that, you know, this is beyond what they can or cannot do, it just creates an element that is known by our officers, by people around here, by Springfield Township, by Coleraine. You get to call it Decor. Everybody's coming, and I just think it's something that needs to be addressed. Like I said, a lot of promises were made, and a lot of promises weren't kept.
Do they have a liquor license right now? Do they serve alcohol?
They do, and the liquor license is held by Diane Creech, who owned Pit to Plate. So Diane Creech, her name is on the liquor license on the wall in there, which creates concerns because there's different things, because she's at least 2, if not 3 people removed from the actual operation of the business, which is concern for liquor control regarding a quote-unquote hidden ownership type situation. So we are, without going into too much detail, we're looking into that as well. And we met with Special Agent Johnson, who's in charge of liquor control down here for the Cincinnati area. We met with him today. He provided us with some really good information regarding how we should proceed and gave us a lot of insight.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding the shooting, is there any person of interest?
And that's another thing. You get these type of lack of cooperation even that night regarding the investigation. I got some grainy video that I'm still asking for clearer video regarding the incident, and clearly they have the video, but they've given me a snippet. So more often than not, when you go in these type of situations, you go to UDF, you ask for a video, they give you a video. I mean, they give you the whole thing. So in this situation, probably have to get a subpoena to get everything, to get what we want. To say that it's an accidental shooting or accidental, we don't know. We have no idea because nobody's talking to us. Even that night when our officers showed up and Officer Seaman went to do the investigation, security was non-cooperative, nobody knew anything. He had to go down to in either way, say this guy did shoot himself, it's clearly a weapons under disability where he's intoxicated, he's inside the bar, and to say that there's no firearms in that establishment, doing a pat down, yeah, I don't know. I mean, one night, one of our officers went there, and their security staff had a full, he was carrying an assault rifle, and you can carry whatever you want. I mean, but he's carrying an assault rifle outside with a mask on, and that's their security. One officer went inside regarding the capacity issue. There was somebody in there that had a firearm and had a jacket that said police on the back. There was no police. So this is their security. This is what they're doing. And it's a matter of time before more issues like this happen.
We opposed this 2 years ago.
Yeah, and
They pulled their request for transfer, or what happened?
I don't feel like I've ever heard a clear answer as to why it didn't go through.
This transfer has been, from what we can tell, the application for a transfer has been in progress for several years now. And there are several reasons why it's going through. It goes through, not through liquor control, it goes actually through the Department of Commerce, who actually issues this stuff. So liquor control is one entity, Commerce is the second. To get full answers where they are in the status of this transfer, whether it's a hearing or this and that, it's hard to get a straight answer. It really is. But as of right now, the transfer is in process. It's being reviewed. I've submitted, and I think I gave it to Mr. Bauer, and I think other people have seen it, probably a packet this thick of calls for service as well as other issues that we've had there. Hopefully that's taken into consideration. And I think with council's, depending on how council asks tonight, that'll be taken in consideration as well.
So I just, Chief, can you talk a little bit about what went on Sunday afternoon?
Sunday afternoon, and this is probably a few times this has happened where it's an old Burger King, and they're trying to pack so many people in this place, and there's cars parking, and they're trying to pull in. There's no other place to park. They're not supposed to park down they're getting towed out of
The American Legion?
no, the American Legion as well as Hilltop.
Okay.
They're parking all over the place, so there's no place to park, so people are just stopping there. This whole idea and you're actually having people from Decor out on Hamilton Avenue trying to wave people in and trying to do this whole valet parking thing, which is completely obstructing traffic, which obviously it caused, obviously you heard about it and the mayor heard about it. So all our officers went down there, and with the assistance of the fire department, and every time we've been down there for capacity issues, it's been the police and the fire department. So we're going down there together, and it's clear. And Keith went down there with our guys, and he said it didn't take a genius to say there's more than 100 people in here. I mean, they estimated somewhere in the close to 160 people in there. That's what, and not him and Officer Michael. And Keith, kudos to him, Keith Peace says, we're shutting this place down. You guys are way over capacity, and that's what they did. And he took the hard decision, and we supported him, and our officers were there as well as Springfield Township, just for an officer safety standpoint. So that's what happened there. And this is the fourth time, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, maybe in 3 months? Maybe 4 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could have happened probably more than that.
Yes, yes.
Was that a special event or just an open bar?
Sunday afternoon. I have no idea what they have going on
Okay.
there. I don't know. It's a Sunday afternoon.
So I can tell you that from talking with the mayor earlier today, that there were conversations on Facebook about certain people were allowed in, certain people weren't. Well, I shouldn't say they were and were not allowed in. It was certain people were charged a price, other people were charged a different price. So, and I don't know what that's about, but and to add to this, the importance of this, I can attest to everything the chief is saying. I was there Sunday afternoon. My wife and I were working in our yard, and our neighbor drove by and said, "What the heck is going on Hamilton Avenue down by Mount Healthy Mart?" So I asked, well, I don't know what's going on. He gave me a description, so I drove down there, and from the old Dollar General, the parking lot was full. The alley behind, not the alley, but the driveway behind it was full. I couldn't tell what cars belonged to what businesses down at Hilltop, but there were a bunch. But all the way all the way going south on Hamilton too. So the T-Mobile building, the laundromat, the car wash, and it just kept going all the way down to the Legion, and the Legion's got a big sign on their side of their building that says, "Hey, we will have you towed if you're parking here." So yeah, it was, and traffic was pretty much a mess. So.
And I've gotten calls from the landlords at those businesses saying, "What can we do about these guys parking in our lot?" I'm like, well, it's private property. You guys can do what you need to do. But, do they have somebody to come out there on Saturday night and Sunday to make sure all this is done? And I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, so it is affecting their business for sure. And I hate to say that we can't do anything for them, but we're not authorized to do anything. But I just say, you know, here are the tow companies that other people are using, if you guys want to implore those guys to do it, so.
And then could you also explain, and the chief explain exactly each individual department's role and how this works? Because like you guys have to go in, you see it, and then you have to call the fire department, and then the fire department is the one that does the actual counting, and they do the actual citing or warning, correct?
Correct.
Am I saying that right?
Yes.
So am I missing anything there, or?
We have the authorization to shut them down due to the failure to comply with the fire code.
Yeah, so this is a fire code violation, not a police department violation. So the police department you guys can't actually shut them down. It has to be the fire department. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean,
Okay.
that's why we call those guys out and
Okay.
for the capacity. And we work in cooperation with the fire
Yeah,
department.
so-
That's why we're there, and that's, yeah.
So pretty much all of our resources are there for a while.
Yeah, if chief makes the call and we come out there and they determine, and it's usually a cooperative thing, like, yeah, this is way over capacity, and those guys make the call, we make it happen. And I think it's a cooperative effort for sure. United front on that sense, yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Chief, both of you. Okay, council, we hear resolution. I assume you want this passed tonight?
Yeah, so this is technically due the 2nd.
Second?
This is due by, or the formal objection is due by May 2nd. So this is, Chief mentioned all of the paperwork he'd put together. Well, this is basically the final piece of the objection, is council on behalf of the community saying, yes, we do object to the transfer. So passing this in one reading is what we need and would like, and then give it to Chief, and he'll forward it on to the liquor board, so.
Okay, council, questions about Resolution 25-1226? Concerns, comments?
I would like to say thank you to the police department and the fire department working collaboratively together to ensure the safety of the people in the community and the people that are visiting our community. Thank you for taking that
Yes.
very seriously.
I agree with you, thank you. Helps protect the firemen and the policemen too, more numbers. Okay, council, I would ask for a motion to suspend.
I'll make a motion to suspend the first reading.
Second?
Okay, Mr. George has made a motion to suspend. Mr. Redding has seconded that motion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mrs. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, the two reading rules been suspended. Once again, I'll ask if there's any questions, comments, concerns. Okay, I ask for a motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 25-1226.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Parsons has made a motion to adopt. Ms. Lingo has seconded that motion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George? Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mrs. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1226 is adopted.
So once we get all the signatures, we'll get this sent off probably tomorrow or the next day. And I feel like it was a few months long, but we'll get scheduled a hearing with Department of Commerce, kind of go from there. But yeah, we'll get this submitted.
Okay. Resolution number 25-1227. A resolution authorizing the City of Mount Healthy to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Metro Transit Infrastructure Fund programs and to execute contracts as required.
So this is the sort of funds. Last year, we applied for Seward Avenue, that'd be Adams North, and did not get it. JMA still recommends this is the highest likelihood project to get approved by SORTA. See what happens. But again, as I kind of mentioned in my report, I think in the future, it could be worthwhile to really possibly, it's too late now. This is we need to pass this tonight. But in the future, looking at using this towards streetscape funds. So work with JMA and Human Nature, kind of putting that together. But hopefully next year, maybe we could have that as the project. So, but we'll have options next year. So,
Council, questions? Everybody understand what this is about? And the administration has said they would like it passed tonight.
Okay.
Ask for a motion to suspend.
I make a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
Who's that?
Bristol.
Okay, Mr. Redding has made a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule. Ms. Rissel has seconded the motion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George? Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mrs. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, the 2 reading rule has been suspended. Any questions, concerns yet? Okay. Ask for a motion to adopt then.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 25-1227.
Ms. Dosa, second. Okay, Mr. Redding has made a motion to adopt. Mrs. Dosa has seconded the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Aye.
Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George? Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mrs. Rissel?
Okay, by a vote of 7-0, resolution number 25-1227 is adopted. That is all the resolutions and ordinances we have. Old business. New business, council.
I got 2 things. First of all, today's April 15th. For all those procrastinators, you got about 3.5 hours to file your income tax or get an extension. That's the first thing.
Okay.
I don't think there'll be any questions on that. The second thing is, the next council meeting, May 6th, is Tuesday. It's Election Day, and there's 2 items on the Mount Healthy ballot. One is a state issue, which everybody can look into. The other issue is the school board has put their 3 mil tax levy on that ballot as well. I just want to make everybody aware that that's going to be on there. 3 mils is about $105 a year for every 100,000 evaluation, an additional tax. So everybody should be aware that that's on the ballot.
Very good.
3 Tuesdays from now, May 6th.
It's a weird month. Good extra week.
I'd have to get out our calendars. I'm not going to get in this argument. Any other new business, council? Ms. Lingo?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Ms. Lingo has made a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Ms. Dosa is seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
See how Margaret packed up?